Hey guys, so today I'll be talking about the changes in the new budget that has been introduced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaram and the implications it is having on the salaried individual who are the working class. The changes that has been made in the tax regimes. Whatever changes has been made in the new tax regime. No changes has been made in the old tax regime with the deductions and all. So the new tax regime has changed tweaked the tax slab rates so as to which will overall reduce the tax burden. And the best news is for the people who are earning in the range of 7.5 lakhs, because up to 7.5 lakhs you do not need to pay any taxes. So that is great news for those people and the middle class. And also, the because of the changed tax slab rates, the net outgo of the income tax that you had to pay earlier, if you are opting for the new tax regime instead of the tax regime up to 22 23, would be quite less. It would have substantial difference. So around, I have calculated that around 50,000 you can save, up to 50,000 you can save if you are opting for the new tax regime from the next year onwards, if you are in the above 10 lakhs tax bracket. So that is also good news, because your net outgo is being reduced. Also, since this, because of the introduction of the deduction from the standard deduction and because of the new tax rates, so that is great. And no changes has been made in the old tax regime, because which had the tax flat tax rates of 5%, 20% and 30%, along with its associated deductions like the ATC, ATD, ATCCD, and your and your home loan interest, HRA, education loan, etc. So those kind of things are still there in the old tax regime. So I have calculated that in the 15 lakh salary, if you are having a 15 lakh salary, so if you are now opting for a new tax regime, then you will be having to net pay around 1,50,000, a little bit lesser than that, if you are opting for the new tax regime. So that is great. So that is a great news. But if you are opting for the old tax regime, then you are obviously having deductions like your PF of 1,50,000, your NPS of 50,000, your HRA exemption is there. If you have home loan interest exemption, that is also there. Education loan, then your health insurance premium. So whatever deductions are there, if it is above 4 lakhs, only 4 lakh 10,000 to be precise, then only you will be able to break even with the new regime. I hope I made myself clear, that if you are having a taxable income of around 10 lakh 50 to 80,000, then only you will have a better chance of saving taxes in the old regime. So that is quite rare. So whatever suits you best. So if you're opting for the new tax regime, so you can save a lot more. That is the end goal that has been stated, I guess, here. So that is good news. Now, coming to now on deeper introspection and trying to understand the budget from a outside point of view, I made a few observations regarding this budget. So it is clear that the government is pushing us towards the new tax regime. They want us to opt, because they are sweetening the pot. They are reducing the tax rates. They are making it flexible. Also, standard deduction. So they have, whatever changes has been made in new tax regime. So they are not putting any focus in the old tax regime, which some might say that in the long run they want to eradicate the old tax regime. So along with it, what will go? What will go? The benefits of deductions will go with the old tax regime. So that will go. So people now would not be willing to, now also we will not be willing to save that extra amount of money in the voluntary PF or ELSS funds, or they won't be willing to live in a, take a big loan amount and stay in an expensive flat. And also health insurance decisions, whatever those decisions that might get affected, because you're not getting any tangible rewards out of it. So that can be one thing. So so what happens is that when you are not investing in ELSS or these kinds of funds, so which this amount is getting invested in it generally gets invested in the market itself. So that amount of money, if people are not investing in these kinds of funds, so that amount of money first doesn't go into the market. So the capital market doesn't gain from this. So overall, that kind of cash flow is reduced. So that is one thing that is happening. Next is, when you do not invest this money in these kinds of area, and you get this kind of benefits. So now you have more cash at hand, which you earlier would have invested. Now you are not investing that, and you have that amount of money in your hand. right? Because of the new tax regime. So you have more cash, there is more liquidity, so there will be more spending capability of the manpower as a whole. So considering the current inflation rates, which is at around 7%, which is already quite high, these kind of activities, because of the more liquidity, might boost those numbers, which which we must say that it's not ideal. So more cash in the market, more liquidity, chances of inflation are higher. So that is not a desirable outcome, I would say. That is from a market point of view. So this kind of activities, this kind of schemes by the government is generally discouraging or creating a negative bias towards investment for the future, that one may deduce from this. So people will now be hesitant to invest in these kinds of funds. So maybe this kind of liquid cash at your hand will make your present entertaining, rosy. That's great, but it might affect your decision for your future planning or your investments. So that almost concludes what I wanted to say. So now let me know what you guys think, and what you might want to add in the comment section.